Hey guys, I just wanted to kind of come on for a pop-up live about a conversation that I started earlier in one of my posts talking about money. And this is just something that I'm really passionate about, which you guys are going to find. And we're going to be talking about it a lot more because one of the biggest things that's holding a lot of conscious, coaches, healers, and other types of, spiritual entrepreneurs back. Hey, Kat, is this, all these misconceptions and blocks around, money and what business is about. And there's a lot of, kind of underlying energy around, hey, it shouldn't be all about the money, or you shouldn't talk about money too much. And the truth is, if you're in business, it has to be about the money. Yes, of course it is about the impact you make. And the truth is, if you're making no money, you're probably not making much of an impact either. I know that's kind of a hard truth, and some people, might get triggered by that, which is something to look at as well. But, the amount of money you're making, the amount of people you're serving is highly correlated to the impact you're having on the planet and the change that you're affecting. So by staying broke and, charging lower prices, or even staying stuck at 10K a month or something and not going above that because of these, stories around money that have been perpetuated for centuries, and women have carried for a long time. Men do have some of it as well, but I find that for women, the money stuff, hey girl. Rachel says she's learned a lot about it this year. But basically, a lot of women, we've just really carried around a lot of these shame stuff around money, or, just a lot of beliefs that aren't serving us. And in order to really go to the next level and to serve at your highest level, to have the most impact, to have the life that you actually want, you have to be open to receiving large amounts of money. You have to actually acknowledge that you do want that freedom. You do want the ability to, money is not, it's not hard to make. It's a flow, right? But because of our beliefs, we block it. And that's why a lot of people are really struggling in their business. They aren't charging enough. They're not even asking for the business. They're not positioning themselves as somebody, that people would want to pay, larger amounts of money to solve problems for them. So it's a lot of different things that come into why you're stuck. But the reason you're stuck is absolutely, I'm willing to put my life on it. Like, no matter who you are, if you are not making the amount of money you desire, it's your mindset around money. There's no other reason. It's not coming. It's, basically it comes down to your beliefs. Your actions are coming from your beliefs. Here's the deal. There's one other possibility. If you're super lazy and you're not taking any actions, you're just sitting on your butt, and you may think you're worth a lot of money, but you're not taking the action. So as long as you're taking actions and you're showing up, if you're not making the amount of money that you truly desire, if you're not having the life that you truly desire, if you're, trying to play small with money, then you need to do the mindset work. It's really important to shift those beliefs, because if you shift your beliefs and, you're serving your clients, you're also serving as a role model so that other women can open up and expand and have, 100K, 300K, 50K months and beyond. Because that's not the norm, right? So that is not the norm. In the spiritual community, there's a lot of poverty mindset. There's way too much of, people kind of staying very small, not charging much. And there's a lot of beliefs, So here's some of the beliefs that you might be experiencing if you're really a bit stuck in that type of mindset. You might believe that your ideal clients can afford to pay you 5, 10, 20, 50, 100,000, to work with you. I used to have some of those beliefs too. And when I started to do the work on it, and, the first couple clients that came in on 50K packages would have been people I may have said, hey, I'm not sure, that they have that much money to invest. And I used to overthink it. So know if you're saying that people can't afford it or everyone's broke, that is an internal thing. It's basically you are projecting what you are, and you're also attracting what you are. So if everyone who's coming to you is broke, or they all have money issues, you want to go first within and take care of your money issues. Here's another really big thing. If you do not invest highly in your coaching and your own personal growth in your own business, it's very unlikely you're going to be successful. You must, at least everyone I know that's highly successful has invested very large amounts of money in their own growth, in their own mentors, in their own expansion. So if you are in a space where you're trying to do it mostly by yourself, or trying to, really shoestring it, that's a big place to really shift. Because if you're not willing to invest really highly in your own development, you're going to stay really small. You're going to stay stuck. You might get to some level. For some people, I've seen them go as far as maybe even 15 or 20K a month. That's pretty rare. but then they get stuck because, you know, if you're asking people to invest really highly with you in the transformation you provide, but you're not even invested in your own transformation, you want to open your capacity to be able to do that, even when it's scary, because big investments are very scary. But I've noticed, you know, for myself, for my clients, for, you know, my business partner, when we've invested really highly in ourselves, we step up, and that's when the next big breakthrough comes. So if you're stuck around, you know, being really kind of feeling like, you know, you're watching every dollar, or you're kind of like, I don't know another word for it, but kind of cheap, that's definitely something that will hold you back. You know, even if you did have money, you wouldn't, you know, experience your life like you really did. But if you're really that cheap and tight with your money, that means you have a fear, there's a lack mentality there, and that's something holding you back. If you just spend frivolously, you know, that's also an issue too, and you don't, you know, value, you know, the investments you make, that's actually on the other side of it, but that can also be, you know, a bit of a block too. So notice, you know, your behaviors around money. Really start to do the inner work that it takes to shift, and, you know, let yourself know what's really going on for you. You know, you have these things in your unconscious, and most of us, you know, keep it kind of stuck. But if you really go there and figure out like, okay, so my pattern is I'm afraid to invest because I don't believe money will always be there for me. You know, money is not, it doesn't have, you know, it's neither good nor bad. It really doesn't, like, but we give all these meanings to it that, you know, end up causing it to, like, you know, kind of stay outside here. Basically, money is just an energy, right? So if you have the flow completely open, you can always create more and more of it. But most people aren't fully open to the flow. I know for myself too, I still have my money blocks. Like, you know, they've been at different levels, but every time you know, now I'm looking to really create 6-figure months consistently. And, you know, I've been doing a lot of mindset work, a lot of tapping, really trying to shift anything that has, you know, is in between me and, you know, hitting that 7-figure mark. Because that's, you know, Sherry and I both, that's our next level. So you know, you guys are all different spaces. So it might be, you know, really just doing the shifting to get yourself to the, you know, 5-figure, you know, 10K and beyond months. Or maybe it's just even to get to 5K months. Like, it's all different levels, but you want to really heal. Every time a block comes up, you want to keep doing that work around money. And the more we can open up, like, the conversation so that people can realize that money is, you know, actually something that will allow us to have the freedom to help other people. I mean, if you have, you know, millions of dollars and you have a charity that you really love and you want to make a difference, you can do something. If you're dead broke, you really can't. You can give your time a little bit, but you're so broke you can't pay your bills, then, you know, you don't really have a lot of extra time. You have to barely make ends meet doing that. So just know that the more you're able to create with wealth, and the more you can share that with others and help them expand, the more amazing our planet is going to be. Because if the wealth can be distributed in conscious people's hands who are going to do amazing things with it, the world is going to be a way, way better place. So that's just my first, like, my little, you know, soapbox thing on this. Does anyone have any questions for me? Oh, I saw some things, so sorry. So Rachel, I saw Rachel's. Stephanie, she's going to watch the replay. Angela says, yes, totally a belief. I deserve large amounts of money. If you believe that, you would have it. So if you believe something, you will actually have it. So if you find yourself, you know, saying something, you know, hey, I should have, you know, large amounts of money, but you don't have it, then there really is something under that belief that's causing it not to be in your life. So, you know, really always go beneath the thing, because we get exactly what we believe. So if you truly believe you should have 100,000 a month, you know, there's something in me, obviously, that hasn't been able to create that consistently. You know, 50,000 a month, easy, right? But so each of us has, you know, our level we're at, and then to get to the next level, you have to do deeper work in healing those beliefs. Anyone else have any questions, comments? For those of you watching the replay, go ahead and, like, ask questions on the whatever, like, put your comments, you know, in the chat or whatever you want to call it, afterwards, and I'll answer it. How long was my process from 0 to 5K in the beginning? This is not my first business, so it's kind of a hard question though, Chantel, but in this, you know, online thing of my business, it really was, there was, like, no process, to be honest. But I've been coaching for a lot of years, so when I came online, I got to 5K immediately. But it was because I already had, you know, the coaching experience. I'd been a business coach for local entrepreneurs. I had a couple other, you know, renditions of niches. But yeah, so, but when I first, you know, started coaching and I was doing it in person, it took me 5 months to hit 5K. It really depends, but don't compare, like, you know, everyone's different. Like, you know, my business partner, when she came online, she had a 12K month her first month. I didn't, but, you know, I got up, you know what I'm saying? So I think, you know, that's the other thing. Don't compare yourself to everyone else. And there doesn't have to be, she's saying, you know, when you haven't seen it yet and you're calling it in, here's the deal. Like, you know, you have to create it. You can't just call it in. You need to go out there. You need to take the actions. You need to make the sales. You need to do the inner work through your beliefs. You need to believe you can get value. I mean, you can coach for free for a while and get people awesome results. I did a lot of that. And to like prove to myself, you know, that I could get these outcomes and I could charge more for it. So, you know, that's actually helping grow you. Take on some beta people, you know, if you're earlier in your business and you need to prove certain results. So hopefully that helps. Anyone else? I see, like, I don't think I see more questions. All right, guys. Well, if not, go ahead and put them in. Oh, Rachel's got one. I mean, so here's the deal. So Rachel's asking about how do you prepare for something like large amounts of money. I mean, larger than 20 to 50K months. What can you do to allow it to flow naturally? So, I mean, here's like the thing, guys, too, is you can allow it to flow naturally, but you also need to have what, you know, is called hooks in the water. So if you're just like, I want 100K months, like even if you're open to it and you don't have offers out there or ways people can work with you to give you that money, it's not going to work. So, I mean, you need to have things in the water. You need to have probably Facebook ads up. You need to have, you know, high-end offers that people can come into. So I don't feel like there's a way to do it, like, unless you have that platform, unless you have those hooks in the water. Because you do need to know. And, you know, my favorite thing to have is, you know, residual income. So, you know, we have people in programs for a year who are paying certain amounts per month. So, you know, when you know, hey, like at the start of the month, I already have 35K, you know, guaranteed, you know that, you know, going beyond 50K, it's going to take this, this, and this. So I still feel like, you know, you want to have plans and stuff for your business as well. And you need to have really good hooks in the water. I don't know anyone who just kind of puts intentions out there and, you know, receives hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. It does take, you know, it does take a firm foundation. It does take a platform. It does take having the right offers. It does take having the right audience. So there are, you know, pieces to it as well. But it also does take being open to that amount of money, really, you know, see, like, you know, here's the deal. Like, if it's huge shift, like you've only made 10K a month and now you want to make 100, that's a really hard shift. Some people have done it, but it's pretty rare. So a lot of times people don't tend to, you know, make massive jumps like that. It's kind of the next stage and the next stage and the next stage. Or what'll happen is, you know, somebody might be making 25K a month, 25K a month, and then they have a month that goes like 75K, but then it goes kind of back down because they haven't really done the work to be able to hold that space for that money. So you want to keep doing that and keep growing and keep expanding. Valentina says, yeah. She's like, in other words, if you sit at home, nothing comes to you, you'll have to go out and push for what you want. Yeah, like you're gonna have to take actions. How do you all ladies stay consistent in your daily actions? It's a habit. You know, it's a habit, Chantel. You want to make sure the actions that you take on a regular basis are the right ones. You know, the ones that are going to get you results. A lot of times people take actions, but they're not, you know, in alignment, and they're not really the kind of actions that would drive them forward. Usually the type of ones that will really drive you forward from where you're at are probably a stretch, and they're probably not super comfortable. So getting outside your comfort zone is another really big space for expansion. Anyone else have any questions before I go? Hope you guys are having an awesome, what day is it? Tuesday? I had a good day. I rode 2 of my horses this morning. The weather wasn't terrible. In Arizona, it was under 100. You're welcome, Chantel. Well, I'm going to let you guys go. And if anyone else, like I said, has any questions, just put them in the comments and I'll get back to them. And same with you guys watching the replay. And I hope this is helpful. You're welcome.